So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. And we're underway. It appears to be a 4-4-2 formation, Jim.
Well, the modern version of that is a lot more fluid and flexible than in bygone times. There's a much greater understanding of the need for players to cover forward running, and it enables risk-taking while the gaps are filled. I'm very much a fan of it. There are a lot of people who seem to have kind of ignored it and just put it to bed, but it still works. It's still valid, and I think we're going to see it be successful here.
Alvarez, unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Tries to play it through. This is a promising build-up. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. No, that's been intercepted. Well, we all know who created the concept of total football, but is it fair to say, Jim, that no one embodied it better on the pitch than this man, Ruud Gullit?
That is true, definitely. He has the pace, the power, the technique to play anywhere across the front line, but he also has the intelligence, the vision to play in a more withdrawn playmaking role, or even in defence. He could fill in and cover for any position as required, and he had the intelligence to be able to put it all together.
Yeah, he really does have it all. Khan breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball.
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision-making. Okay, initially he probably was afforded the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
Casillas claims comfortably. Almost half an hour in now. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Alvarez showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. The muscular approach does pay off here.
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Now this could be a chance. Ronaldo providing an outlet on that flank. He's dealt with that really well. Oh, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined.
That appeared to be an inevitable outcome. Too much traffic.
Passes coming off in quick succession here. Mendes kept his eye on it, and he's there. Pedri. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Well timed, excellent interception. That is good alertness. Costa Curta. So a temporary halt to the action. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. Reflections on the first half?
Well, simply put, Peter, they haven't been good enough to trouble the opposition. They need to play with more courage in the second half and a lot more intent.
So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break. The second half is up and running.
Well, I can imagine both managers have been in the ears of the players. They want more. Let's hope the game comes to life sooner rather than later.
Oh, easy pickings there. And this is Ronaldo. Oh, he's burst through. Here comes the cross. And that's the keeper's ball. Up towards the hour mark and still no goals.
Palmeiras are totally dominant in the middle of the park, a no-way through zone.
Played out towards the right wing. He's in plenty of space here. And Del Piero! Now, who's going to be first to this? Has another go! Cleared without hesitation. Hullet! Superb from Hullet! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. Hullet at his razor-sharp best there.
Listen, he would have been advised to do that as a kid, and it's obviously etched in his mind now.
Croatia have penetrated for the first time.
Well, when the going gets tough, etc., they can still turn this round, I think.
He's on it. Can he get away? Deftly away. Well, they've got it again. Played out to the left flank. Cruyff can see things others simply cannot. And that has been cut short. In by Del Piero. Big chance! And a neat finish. And there we have it, the two-goal cushion. Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
Well, Peter, they should just never have lost the ball from there, but you have to give credit and fairness to the front-footed pressing too. Made things quite uncomfortable for them.
Croatia are now luxuriating in a two-goal lead.
To be expected, Peter. They've gone and...
Can he finish? Just cruising! They are cruising! Up by 3. They have their boots on the throats of their foes. The movement so precise, the finish so... It's Cristiano Ronaldo! And he should have made it 4.
It wasn't the best strike, to be honest, Peter. The pass might have been a better option there. They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
Zola. It's a promising position. Flings in across. Tries to get it clear. And the shot! It's a goal! They will take that. They are absolutely ripping it up. That was easy. Almost too easy.
Yeah, it's simply tragic defending when a renowned finisher is ignored. It's how he built his reputation.
Croatia are at the peak of their powers. As for their opponents, a long way from that.
Well, that's really winded the opposition. You can see their manager...
Cristiano Ronaldo! Well, he caught that pure, but no end product. Nemecha works it forward. That is ended up in no man's land. Zola and Zola! The referee has given a corner.
A moment to try and place the cherry on the cake.
Del Piero plays it short. Forced to go back. Puyol! Well, now it's a race for the ball. It is close, but that is the last of it. Palmeiras cannot spin this any other way. They came up against opponents who were thrilling, at times unplayable, who simply brushed them off. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. And we're underway. Spain have chosen to go 4-3-3. Jim, how do you see it?
Yeah, Peter, you can look at this formation 1 minute and think that it is 4-3-3, and the next time you check, it'll be 4-5-1, and it's all to do with whether you've got the ball or not, and the wider attacking players being asked to apply defensive discipline too. When it does turn to a 5 across midfield, then the shape of this team takes on a much tidier, compact defensive look.
Passes short and sharp.
I think it's only right for me to respectfully acknowledge Fabio Cannavaro as being a little giant.
Yeah, not the tallest of centre-halves, but amongst the most commanding.
Yeah, and whatever he lacks in height, he makes up for in other areas. Anticipation, timing and tactical intelligence, they're all top class.
Lovely passing, lovely movement as well. Alvarez was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. And he was quick to react. Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Now it's Vieri. Nicely shaped ball. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Nakamura.
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers: don't concede the opener.
Nakamura cuts a frustrated figure right now. He just cannot get away.
He needs a minder, and one of his teammates should be picking up on that, and quickly.
Great vision. Thinks about the shot. Oh, well played. Nakamura. 15 minutes till half-time. He has found the way through. Shot could be on. And Torres! It's bounced back off the post. Well, that was nice, but not quite the end product required.
That's good running. It makes life so much easier when you have people who are willing to go beyond the defence like that.
Quick look, then plays it in.
Well, that has caused disappointment to some, unsurprisingly, and disgust to others. What a waste.
And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Plays a sharp little ball here. An instinctive delivery. Pele. Looking for a runner. And this is Vieri. Now it's Mohamed Salah. That's been cut out. Well played. Nemecha. Silvestre. Floated through. Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. And the referee says that is that for the first half. So we go in at half-time with both defences still yet to be breached. They rather cancelled each other out in the first period. Let us see what the second half brings. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, at least the defence can look back on a job pretty well done so far, Peter. I think they've squeezed the play quite well and they've been relentless in their pressing. So the energy levels have looked good.
Still waiting for this to take off. It's goalless at half-time. So, into the second half.
Palmeiras are probably feeling relatively good about themselves, so I don't think the manager has seen anything to change in his half-time team talk.
Turns back here, probably the best option. Now it's Vieri. Silvestre is one whose deliveries we all know about. Nemecha. Yamal. It's a searching pass. Still absolutely nothing to report here goals-wise. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Tries to play it through. Chance, surely! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. Palmeiras with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. Getting up there! Now it's Vieri. Spain have the chance to go the other way. Vieri receives it in a wide position. Palmeiras needed that. They really needed it.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
Thuram. No breakthrough and well into the second period. It is still anyone's game. Nakamura going like a man possessed at the moment. Pele.
Well, the moans and groans from the stands now are very audible.
Silvestre. Looking for the run. Alvarez! And yes, it's there! And late in the day, a telling moment.
What a time to take the lead. But now comes the dilemma of whether you ought to hold on or go for it again and try and extend your advantage. That's always been the harder option, in my experience.
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
So changes afoot here, and from both sides. So the first moment of real significance.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again. Spain really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
And they win it back again. That's good running with the ball. Batistuta gets into a good position. And he lines up a cross. No, couldn't quite control it.
Well, this is simple. The supply is to be admired. The defending is to be admonished.
Good ball, good take. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Palmeiras, moments now away from seeing this one out. Now it's Villa. Beckham is always scanning the pitch for targets. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped. I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
And we're done. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Palmeiras effectively played like two different teams. Pretty placid before the break, but looked much more up for it after half-time. Eventually, those efforts were rewarded. There's a lot of positives to take from that.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. And that gets things running.
In a system like this, Peter, the winger-fullback combinations can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and... Mbappe! Mbappe! Oh, how good is that?
As openings go, this is up there. Another magnificent finish from Mr. Magnificent. This could be good. Very good.
That was easy. Almost too easy.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner and he picked them off instead.
So, a breakthrough already. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Can he finish? Well taken goal. And once more, we are all square. You score, we score.
Yeah, and analysis of the goal should take a back seat to the importance of a committed reaction. This is wonderful to...
Tries one from range. Ambitious, but just off target.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he tried one of his specials.
Dixon. Still very early doors, but it is a closely contested affair. Looking to pass their way up the pitch.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And that's definitely not his best. Messi, very much a man of this moment. Driving forward. Hazard.
KHYESGAMING definitely have the look of a team that likes to counter-attack, Peter.
Yeah, that is clear. Just look at how they line up.
Well, in other words, they don't mind being patient.
Torres picks it up out wide. Cross to the back post. Punched away. Fernandez. Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
KHYESGAMING clearly should have gone for the easier pass. Now they'll have to quickly regroup.
Now it's Hazard. And the pass is intercepted. And here's Hazard. Messi. Silvestre. Looking for options for movement. Akanji cuts it out. He's picked his way through. Chance! And he's really put himself on the line here. Palmeiras with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. Terrific effort!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
KHYESGAMING have the chance to go the other way. And here's Mbappe, takes a shot! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
And he's there to get it away. Bunu. Keeper's got good distance on that. And that has been cut short. Nice looking ball. He's in it. And this is Torres. Oh, that's a foul and the whistle's gone. Yellow or red? It is red. Well, no question, Jim, the referee has seen that as a professional foul.
Well, I suppose the other choice, Peter, would have been to let your opponent score, so he had no other option.
Perhaps the final meaningful act of the first half.
I think there's actually a quiet confidence in pulling this off.
Nakamura! Oh, smart save. He had plenty to do.
Well, I thought his starting position was good, and that helped the keeper to judge the flight of the ball and deal with it well.
And this could be the final action of the first half. And that's gone all the way through to the keeper. And the whistle goes for half-time. Well, the glass is either half full or half empty. Neither side yet truly to impose themselves, and it's level pegging at half-time. So there was the first half.
Well, you have to ask questions how this has stayed 1-1, Peter. I do think, though, that the way spaces have been found in key areas with relative ease will be a real concern, something that needs addressing, and fast.
Well, it has been tight, it's been competitive. Each side with one significant moment, and at half-time the score is 1-1. And that's the second half started. Rodri. Oh, good spread. Now it's Batistuta. Pass is just off target. Nemecha. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Cannavaro. Nakamura. Silvestre is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. And that has been knocked clear. That's a good run down the left. Pings in across. And he's gone looking for safety. That's good play. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. That's a little off target. Played into space. Well read, nice interception. Nakamura. Van Dijk. And it's Rodri. Mbappe! He's having a hit! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. And it's Rodri. Batistuta. Khan gets his hands on it, and the danger is averted. He's having a pop! It's bounced back off the post. And they're back on the ball again. Plays a sharp little ball here. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Just about up to 75 minutes. Messi really struggling to influence the game.
Look, he could do with someone else taking responsibility to shift the target. He badly needs some help here. Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Rudiger can clear it away. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Silvestre charging forward, the ball at his feet. Mateus, oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Batistuta is onto it in a flash. Rodri. This is a promising build-up. Batistuta, oh, good take and Messi! And it's hit the woodwork and out!
I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
And the referee brings it to a close. So it's ended all square, both sides showing battling qualities and neither willing to give in. How would you sum up what we've witnessed, Jim? Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in for something very special. And we're underway. Now there is the unmistakable figure of John O'Shea, one of the first names on the team sheet, always, Jim.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be a little biased here because he's from my hometown, but he's about as versatile and dependable as they come.
The ultimate unsung hero. He won't be happy with that one. There's the shot! They've scored!
Well, once more, it's him. And we can't be surprised because his instinct for doing this is incredible.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Alanyaspor are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
Palmeiras finding themselves unexpectedly behind. Mateus. Juve. Alanyaspor are looking to break at pace. That looks a good ball through. He has found the way through. He's gone down, but the referee just tells him to get back up again. Rui Costa getting up there! Not a bad try by any means.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe. Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Now that looks a decent ball. No, not quite on the same wavelength. Chouameni, and they can counter here. And it's Van Nistelrooy. Knocks it into space. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped. Alanyaspor definitely have the look of a team that likes to counter-attack, Peter.
Yeah, that is clear. Just look at how they line up.
Well, in other words, they don't mind being patient.
Tries to play it through. Mateus. Juve. Well cut out, no margin for error there at all. Nakamura has an approach to the game which is pretty much shoot on sight. Threads one in.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
Oh, that's fabulous. White. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through. Cannavaro cuts out the pass. Silvestre. Chouameni.
Palmeiras truly have no need to panic. They can reassess at half-time.
Van Nistelrooy! And that was probably asking just too much.
Well, he's never the sort to doubt his own capabilities. Always fancies himself, no matter what the situation.
Silvestre is always looking to play quality balls. Oh, he's been caught on it here. Nemecha. Cruyff. Juve. Rui Costa. And he's managed to get free. The referee's awarded a free kick. And he is going into that little black book. Silvestre is onto this. Quick look at his watch, and the referee whistles for half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. Palmeiras go in at half-time with a game to chase.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
So that's how it stands at halfway. We'll be back with the second half very soon. So off we go again.
Palmeiras really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked a step too slow on everything.
Mateus conjures time and space where few can. Timber stood his ground strongly. Palmeiras come out this half somewhat altered.
Well, I think it's the perfect time to make a change.
And he's picked out the run. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. Batistuta being hounded, manhandled at times.
Yeah, and what they've got to realise, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now.
And here's Batistuta. Timber looking to provide the solidity his team so need. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, considering they're only one down, they're closer to conceding a second than scoring a leveller.
And it's Serginho. Lovely pass, but can he get there? And into the grateful arms of the keeper. Nakamura. Palmeiras still have the cards to affect this game. An uncompromising challenge.
Palmeiras really are going about things in the right fashion, Peter. It's great to see.
They're coming again and again.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
And it's made its way to him. Deflected behind for a corner kick. And we have our very first corner. Punched away. Great vision. No way through there. Can he get it through? Driven in. Impressive jump. And that could have brought them level.
Oh, I think you could really feel his pain there. He was convinced he'd put his side level.
Mateus, shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Out towards the flank. Aimed beyond the defence. Mateus! And a truly agonising miss.
Well, I think that look says it all, Peter. Brilliant save from the keeper. He read the situation superbly.
Looking for the run. And it's been played through. And he's made sure that's not getting through.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
And that is headed for the middle. Serginho. That is good progress on the left. Can he get on the end of this? And that's been slipped through. And the shot! And it's in! 2 ahead, late in the day, game over surely. That really is quite fabulous, all his own doing.
Oh, that's wonderful to see.
So that's it, it is all